Young Money. Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Evan Sanders from the BetterManProject.tv, and this is Inspire in 5. Just want to give you a quick introduction to myself, as this is the first episode, and hopefully an episode of many more to come. And, quick background is, a couple years ago I started writing, and I have a blog over at WordPress, which is called The Better Man Projects. And basically what it addresses is every single day I look at something that I've learned, whether it be through a memory of a story that I have, whether it's all the sports that I played, or whether it just came out of like that daily learning in life. And I take that little lesson, I kind of blow it up into massive proportions, and really kind of look at what that little tiny thing meant to me along my journey towards becoming a better man. So the Better Man Projects is really just kind of a name. It's not really kind of about being better than anybody else or providing a guidebook for anybody else, but it has grown significantly. We just reached the 5,000 follower mark, at least on WordPress. I'm not too sure about how the other older blogs that I was doing on other sites. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all the followers out there who have really kind of stepped up, and they've given me a lot of support and comments, and really kind of driven me to keep on going with this whole entire thing. So shout out to you guys. You've been awesome. Connect with me over on the Facebook page, which is down on the link. It's a pretty cool page. Stay connected. You can also see all the kind of other videos that I'm looking at, things to stay inspired all the time. Which is kind of like a never-ending process. And I guess this is a little bit what I wanted to talk about today. I've already had two big things come up for me as the day has been going on. It's 9 o'clock, and I've already had two awesome conversations with people about what it takes basically to stay in the present, which I think is one of the biggest questions that we can ask ourselves. Which is, what do you do to stay in the present? And what I mean by about staying in the present is, how are we not always kind of like looking backwards, and how are we not always looking forwards to the next thing? And I'll address each of those separately. So what I've kind of felt and what I've learned over the past is that if we're looking into the past, we can't necessarily appreciate what's going on right now in this moment. And I'm going to get into goal setting too in a little bit, about how if you're looking at your past constantly in your goal setting, you might be bringing your past actually into the future, and then nothing's really ever going to change for you. So the kind of little motto that I've had, at least that I've learned from The Peaceful Warrior, which is on Netflix, you guys should check it out. It's a free movie over there, and it's a great story about this gymnast who injures himself and basically comes back by this teacher who's taught him all these lessons. His name's Socrates, and the guy teaches him all these lessons about kind of how to stay in the present, how to let go of the past, really how to give himself like a lot of personal power. So fantastic story. But what I took from that story is there's this moment at the end. So Socrates in the background goes, "Where are you, Dan?" He goes, "Here." He said, "What time is it?" "Now." And then he says, "Who are you?" And Dan goes, "This moment." And I really kind of kept that in the back of my mind throughout past couple of years when I've been doing this project, which is I always catch myself thinking about something that's either happened in the past or something that may happen in the future, may or may not happen, but have to basically keep myself in this moment by saying little things like that, and a multitude of other things that I know. So that's kind of like one of the things that I want to talk about today, which is how to kind of be in the present. It also comes down to really appreciating what you have. And I think, if we appreciate a little bit more of what we have and then focus on what we don't have, things would be a little bit better for us every single day. It'd keep us a little bit more focused on what's going on right now. And then we also wouldn't be like wishing about things all the time. I wish it was this way. I wish it was that way. And just kind of a little side note, this video blog is going to be a little bit of a stream of consciousness kind of deal. As I'm a little, fidgety right now because I'm unsure about what I want to say, but also really the stream of consciousness part is whatever is really going to come up into my head. And something really goes for me there, which is a long time ago I was told this story about how they train donkeys. And they train donkeys by putting a carrot on the end of a large stick and sitting on the donkey and then putting the carrot in front of the donkey's mouth, and so he follows to go get the carrot. And this guy made this awesome comparison to us as human beings. He said, human beings often have that, donkey syndrome, which they're basically saying, when I have that car, like, I'll be happy. Or, when I can squat this much, I'll be happy. Or when I can do this or when I do that, I'll be happy. But what often happens is you get there and you achieve that, you get that car, but you're still not happy. And, I really feel like the happiness is coming from inside, right? It's coming from how are you feeling inside, and then addressing those things that are coming up for you, if they're bad, to really kind of, figure things out. And one of the things I've also learned really over the past 2 years is, we can't always expect things to be sunshine all the time. It's ever since we were little, if our parents are, come up to us, why are you unhappy? And kind of like make it wrong, And, sad is just as a valid as emotion as happiness. And to be really balanced out there, you kind of have to have both. Just great quote, and I'm a huge quotes guy, so you're going to be hearing a lot of these. But it's the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. And there are always going to be times where, that sun's going to set at the end every single day. And you're going to have your moments of great ups and you're going to have your moments of great downs. But when you constantly try to focus on being up, up, up all the time, and then you get really uncomfortable with being down. And one of the things I've really tried to learn over the past is being uncomfortable during, being comfortable during those times of kind of darkness, where things may not exactly be going your way. And just sitting with that emotion, sitting with that feeling, and just recognizing it for what it is, not making it wrong or right. Just kind of sitting with it and letting it be, and not kind of trying to make it into something that it isn't. And I think that's the thing that happens with a lot of us, which is when we get these dark emotions, when we get these things that are going wrong, we really try to fix it, and we really try to get out of it fast. And sometimes it's completely out of our control. Of course, there are situations where we do kind of light our own fire, so to speak. But I really think, just be with it for a while. It's okay. It's balanced. It's good for you, and it's supposed to be that way. If it wasn't that way, it wasn't supposed to be that way, you would know. But it's not in the the plan for us to kind of change things as we go. So it's a couple of things that kind of come up for me when I'm thinking about this stuff about being in the present. And I gotta tell you, I have an absolute horrible time a while ago staying in the present moment, and especially when shit hits the fan. You really gotta try and be here right now instead of focusing on all the things that just happened or the things that may come, because half the time, probably even more than half the time, the things that you expect to happen don't actually happen. And you know this because when you get there and it doesn't happen, you go, phew. And I've had more than a few of those moments in my life. So these are just a couple of the other things that are coming up. And just wanted to say a couple of more things. I think one of the other things, too, that I really want to talk about before I close this segment up here, because I promised about 5 minutes, but is how you really get up in the morning and you really go after it. And how you're inspired to start your day. And awesome, another quote is, find something worth dying for and live for it. And sometimes we get stuck in situations where we're doing something that just doesn't fire us up and doesn't make us passionate. And sure enough, that the path that is untrodden by many is the path that scares the hell out of many. And right now I'm going down the entrepreneur path of starting a business, and I gotta tell you, this scares the hell out of me. But it's what you do in that moment after you're scared to death that really, really counts. And I think waking up, finding something that you absolutely love, whether it's going to the gym every single day, whether it's a type of job. You may not make a lot of money right at the beginning, but if you become the best at it because you're the most passionate at it, I'm sure as hell you're going to make a lot of money, and you're also going to be happier. And so I had a great conversation with one of my friends sitting down the other day, which we basically talked for 3 or 4 hours about how he was in this one place, but he knew that he was being called to do something else. He was just trying to figure out how to get out of it. And, sure enough, not everything's not easy as just dropping it as, 1, 2, 3. But you really also have to kind of look at, is this what I'm doing is what I want? And can I be happier somewhere else? And, really believe that, though. The materialistic goods are always going to be there, but this is about internal happiness. Am I happy inside with what I'm doing? And I always think, if you're going to be happier doing something else, then you should go do it, and not really make the excuse of, tomorrow is a better day for that, or a month from now is a better day. Really, you just got to go after it, because when fear sets in, and you let fear set in for a long time, it'll paralyze you. And I know, trust me, I know. So these are just kind of a couple of thoughts I got coming on today. I'm sure this is going to get way more organized with the thought process and kind of things I want to go to. One more thing that kind of pumps me up in the morning is when I'm washing the dishes in the morning, and I've got this little guy above me that says, "Which one will you be today?" And this is a mountain right here, and these are your cheeks. These are your butt cheeks. And these are both cheeks on the line, and this is one cheek on the line. And so I'll never forget this. Shout out to Jan for giving me this, but this fires me up every single day, and that's the question, right? We all have to ask ourselves: which one are you going to be today? Are you going to put both of them on the line, or are you going to have one off the line? So thank you guys for watching. Really quickly, if you can connect with me on all different things, I got a Pinterest account down there. There's a WordPress account. Please follow me. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Love to hear also your comments on YouTube about things that I could do better. I'm sure there are going to be 100 million comments about you were too fidgety, you were looking off, this is left, right. That's okay, I'll figure it out as I get more comfortable. But I'd love to hear from you guys, and thank you also for inspiring me to do this. I'm fired up about doing this every single day. I'm already having a blast. So, thebettermanprojects.wordpress.com. That's my website, and hope to see you soon. Thanks.